Hey guys, what's up? It's Alex or Nuzz here, and welcome to Road to Partyhat Episode 9. In this episode, we're going to be doing a ton of necks, corp, clues, tons of PVM. We get some huge drops, and I mean my luck at necks was absolutely insane, so make sure to stick around so you don't miss that. Be sure to like the video if you're enjoying this series, and if you want to keep up with these videos, please subscribe. We're over 3,000 subscribers. So yeah, I'm really excited for this episode. We have a ton of necks and some really just massive drops. So let's get right into it. Alright guys, so to start out we have some Corporal Beasts. Now I actually made a loot video on this, so I'm not going to show everything. You can check out that video if you want, but yeah, we got a lot of Onyx Bolts as you'll see here because Corp is kind of a boss that doesn't have the greatest rare drops. They have the sigils, but they're not worth a ton. They're maybe like 10 mil, but they're so extremely rare that you're not going to get them for a long time. So I was basically doing this mostly for the pet, but the normal drops honestly add up a lot. Like every Onyx Bolt drop is like 1.3 mil, and then every Cannonball drop is like a mil. And of course, like here, there's Holy Elixirs, which I think go for about 8 to 900k as well. So Corp had a lot of drops that just added up really fast. We just got tons of Onyx Bolts, and it was honestly pretty AFK. So I basically decided to use like Masterwork and Mizuari, and I had a certain setup where I had my old deck coil out, and it would kill the core. I had Potion Reservoirs and Vampirism Scrimshaw, Penance Aura, and basically this made it so I could just use Revolution and with a certain revolution bar, and I could basically AFK. Sometimes I would need to eat. It just kind of depended on if I got unluckily hit and stuff. But I also had a Mizuari, which is a tier 85 spear, and if I had a better spear like the tier 92 spear, I probably could have fully AFK'd. And I had my legendary pet actually picking up drops for me, and we got another Holy Elixir there. So nothing crazy from Corp, but the drops added up a ton, and we actually ended up making, I believe, 50 mil from Corp, somewhere around that. So definitely nothing to scoff at. Here's just a quick peek at the loot. I won't show a lot just because I have a whole nother video on it, but yeah, it definitely was worth our time, and it was pretty nice just to AFK and chill and try to get the pet. So wasn't really a bad deal, and I really enjoyed Corp, and I'll definitely be going back. So I decided to do some clues. So as you can see here, zooming in for you, we have some hard clues, and I decided to trying to zoom in on like more of my clips with clues and stuff, because I know a lot of people actually watch these videos on their phone, which I was actually surprised at. So if you're in the phone gang, comment below. I actually saw that somebody watched my videos on a Nintendo DS. So if you're the guy that's watching my videos on a Nintendo DS, I love you. I really do. But yeah, so we decided to do some hard clues, and fortunates are just so much. As you saw there, 2 is over 2 mil. It's like over a mil for a fortunate component. So I decided, why not do clues? I've done tons of clues, and with the clue titles coming out, it kind of motivated me to get going on them, because I do actually have a lot of the hard clue items. I think I have some gilded. I have a third age kite shield. I have a Barrows die and a shadow die. I got those a while ago, 2-3 years ago, but I do still have those on the log. So I'm hoping to get a die soon, and maybe some third age. I don't know. The explosive barrel is going to be very hard when it comes to filling out the log. But yeah, we're getting some decent fortunate components here. I really wanted to get some masters because I just really like doing master clues, and you can get such good loot from them. But there we get one actually right there, and 2 magic combos. So I definitely recommend you guys to go try out some hard clues rather than elite clues. Hard clues are so much easier to get, so much faster to do, and I feel like you definitely get more fortunate components from easy clues. The only thing about hard clues, you get more fortunate components in hard clues than elite clues. The only thing about hard clues is you don't have a chance to get like the blood die or anything. But you can still get some decent dies like the Shadow die and Barrows die, which definitely are a decent amount. But as you can see here, we don't really get anything that great, but we ended with a Master Clue and another Fortunate. So I made a decent amount of money there off the hard clues, and sticking with the clue loots, I ended up doing some Giant Oyster because it was that time of the month. So I actually have the monthly D&D reset tokens, so I can do the Oyster twice. So if you have the monthly D&D token, definitely try to do the Oyster twice because it's pretty worth it. I've seen people get dies from the Oyster, but sadly no dies for us. So we decided to move on to some necks. So if you don't know, Nex has a ton of good drops, and I mean a ton. I think there's over like 20 drops. Torva plate body is the best at 143 mil. And then most of the drops you're going to get are like 6-7 mil, but there's a really good amount that are over 20 mil, 30 mil, and then you have the big ones like Torva helmet, legs, and body, which are an insane amount. So I decided to do some. I bought Ascension crossbows because they're so good if you use Ruby Becriminal bolts and then switch to Dragon Becriminal bolts. The Ruby bolts are so good. And they'll just start proccing 10Ks over and over again. So I definitely recommend getting Ascension crossbows or something that can use Becriminal bolts because they're so underrated. I mean, I don't think they're underrated because a lot of people use them, but I see people with like Saren God bows and stuff at like Nex. And Ascension crossbows are pretty much the same, if not better than the Saren God bow, even at Nex, just because the bolts are just so overpowered. Obviously, Eldritch Crossbow is like the best, but I really had a fun time doing Nex. I haven't done it in so long, but here I was actually using a Yak, as you can see, and eventually I ended up being able to do it with a Nihil pretty easily, but here was when I was first starting, so my kills were kind of sloppy. Another recommendation I have for Nex is to use the Armadillo Godbook, the Illuminated Godbook, because it is just so good. I think it's actually the best pocket slide item. And sometimes it'll just go off and just kill an entire minion in one proc, or it'll go off and in between phases, and then when the next phase starts, you'll get a huge burst of damage. So definitely should use the Armadillo book if you're thinking about going next. But yeah, I just thought I'd show a full kill here just because I kind of do that on these videos when I do a new boss. So yeah, it was pretty fun, and I got my kills to about 3 minutes to 4 minutes. Mostly they were under 4 minutes once I got the hang of it and started using Nihil. And I think my best kill was like 2 minutes 58 seconds, which my range DPS is not too good. I haven't used range much at all. I don't have the range tier 99 prayer, so I'm still learning how to range. But I think this is honestly a good place to practice at Nex. So if you want to, get into practicing range, Nex is a pretty good place, and I've been having so much fun. Like, I don't know, I've just done the same bosses over and over again, Telos, Araxor, Elite Dungeons, and I just haven't, I wanted some variety, so I said I'm just going to do Nex because I haven't done it in so long, and I had so much fun. As you can see there, we get Onyx Bolts E, which are 2.9 mil every time you get that, so Nex's normal drops are honestly decent. You will get a lot of Brews and Restores, but you should get a fair amount of Onyx Bolts and other things like Dragonhide, Magic Seeds, Grimy Herbs. As you can see here, we get Brews and Restores. And then we actually get a Virtus Mask, which I actually already had on the log, but I was surprised to learn that was 15 mil for a Virtus Mask. I guess people that don't want to use Tectonic will buy a Virtus Mask. But yeah, it was a pretty decent drop there. I pretty much did about 2 hours of Nex and got that. So, we're pretty much on drop rate. I think you should get a drop every like 20 or 30 kills. So, pretty decent there. Get some uncut Dragon Stones. Like I said, the normal drops really add up, so you don't have to think like you're going to Nex and if you don't get a drop, you won't make any money, because you definitely will make money. Here we get a hard clue, which I thought I got a drop because of the golden beam. There were quite a few trolls I had at Nex, but honestly, we just got insanely lucky, as you'll see coming up. I believe here I get trolled again, maybe? Yep, we get an elite clue here, which is another golden beam, which I thought was an item, but that's okay. Got about 800k in grimy herbs, so man, that normal loot is so nice. Yeah, as you can see, here's a proc of my book, and we basically melt mechs. And here we get some Virtus gloves, which is one of the worst drops you can get. It's only 6.9 mil, but honestly, even if that's your only drop in the hour, I mean, that's still 7 mil, which is really decent. So there aren't really any drops that are absolutely horrible at next. They're all going to net you like 7 to 10 mil or so. And then, of course, you have the big drops. So, yeah, more Onyx Bolts here. Pretty decent. You always got to love getting the Onyx Bolts. And, yeah, I just, I've said it like a million times, but this was just so refreshing to do next. I might actually come out with a guide on next if anyone would be interested, because there's a lot of little, it's easy to kill, but it's a bit hard to master. There's a lot of nuanced little things that you can do to speed up your kills in certain areas and mitigate damage. So, I kind of thought about making a guide for it. And here we get a huge drop, Torva plate legs. I was just floored at this because I believe I got the Virtus mask and the gloves in about an hour or two. And then the next hour I come and I just get these instantly. So, man, Torva plate legs, 86 mil, the second best drop you can get from Nex. And we end up getting it. So that is going to be a huge boost to our bank and our road to a party hat. Because if you guys don't know, party hats are going up again. I believe yellow party hat is about 26 bills. So we've got a lot of work to do. But with the new boss coming out, I'm really hoping to, ramp up the money making. That's kind of why I do clues, just because I keep out hope that I'm going to get a lucky die or something to really boost the bank. But things like Nex are very, very consistent money. So I'm definitely going to be doing a lot of Nex. And, especially when you get drops like I've been getting, I feel like Nex, I'm just going to be a really good money maker. Speaking of money, there's a Pernix body, 28 mil. I have had that before again, so it's nothing new on the log, but that's one of the best items you can get again. And we get it. This was my first kill of the hour, I believe, and I got the Pernix body, so I was so happy about that. And I believe this clip is about a little later, but it is actually the same hour that I got the Pernix body. And as you can see here, our luck strikes again, and we get another pair of Torva plate legs. Man, I just could not believe it. Nex was just dropping huge drops left and right. That's 2 Torva plate legs, Pernix body, Virtus gloves, and Virtus mask, and I believe probably 4 or 5 hours of Nex. So I got a drop, I think, every hour. Alright guys, so now we're going to look at how much money we made this episode, and I'm going to show you a few of my loot tabs and stuff. And yeah, we'll see the progress we made this episode. So we did a lot of Nex, and if we go to my Nex log now, you can actually see that we have 631 kills total, and we do have 9 of 21 items. So we got Torva plate legs were new, but then the Virtus mask, the gloves, and the Pernix body were all duplicates. But honestly, that's okay because it was such nice money that I don't really care. And hopefully eventually I can get the next pet because it is one of my favorite pets. So we did pretty good with Nex, and then with Corporal Beast, sadly we didn't get any sigils or anything, but I got to keep going at it, and I'm assuming eventually I will. So definitely we'll do some more Corp. Now we're going to look at the wealth evaluator, which of course isn't always super accurate, but if we look, we are almost at 2.4 bill, which I think we made almost 300 mil since last episode, which is not too shabby. Pretty good. I'm hoping next episode to do a ton of the new boss Raksha, which comes out in about 2 days from this video. So I'm going to be doing a ton of that, a ton of Nex, maybe some Telos. So next episode is going to have hopefully a lot of money in it. But this episode was pretty good in terms of money. If we look in the bank here, not much has changed. I did, however, sell my Drygores, which I didn't really use Melee that much anyway. I never really used the Drygores. And I went and bought Ascensions, so that's how I've been doing next. Still have, the Max Mage gear, Essence of Finality, all the nice Elite Tectonic, all that stuff. Inquisitor Staff. We still have all of it there. And then basically the next tab is right here. I have not sold anything yet, just because I think I want to save this up and maybe get to 1k kills total, which is about 370 more kills, and then see how much loot I have. So there's going to be a ton more next in the next episode. And yeah, I sold a lot of the clue loot I had, and yeah, we're just going to be saving up this next tab and, really trying out the new boss Raksha in the next episode. So hopefully I can do it. I don't think it's going to be too hard. They said it's going to be around Araxor or Telos difficulty, so it shouldn't be insanely hard. So I'm hoping to do some solo and duo of that. And yeah, we made some really good progress this episode, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like on the video. It helps me out a lot if you leave a like. Comment what you want to see in next episode, episode 10 of Road to Partyhat. Make sure you just subscribe if you haven't already. We're over 3,000 subscribers now. And if you want to join my channel memberships and support the channel and get some cool perks, you can click the join button, or there should be a button on screen to join. I want to thank all my channel members that I have right now. Thank you guys so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next episode.